right, Mo, so tell us about this friend. Is this a friend of yours?
This is a family member of mine, and it's a question of how far are you willing to go if you have to sacrifice yourself in order to help somebody that you work with. And one of my family members finds herself in that situation. And I'm curious as to what you guys would do, because this was a debate that was had over the weekend in my family on if she's making the right decision or not. So I'll give as many details as I can. She works at a job where it's really high stakes, high reward, high risk. It's just, it's high pressure, and mistakes are a really big deal, but they happen. So what the job does in order to try to prevent mistakes from happening over and over is they give you 2 strikes. It's like a 2-strike rule. You make one mistake, not a problem. They'll tell you what your mistake was. You continue to work. The second one, you have to go in, and it's either they're going to let you go. Sometimes you can try to file an appeal, but typically, if you make 2 mistakes at this place, it's a wrap. And it's on your record forever if you make the first one. You get written up, and it's there. And the second one, sometimes you don't even get to explain what happened. So that's important information in the decision that she is now attempting to make on what she believes she should do. So she is a supervisor, and she has 3 people that work for her. So she takes her job very seriously, and she is very protective over the people that work for her. However, there are higher ups that when they send down orders and things that you are supposed to do for your people that work for you, typically you have to do it. So the situation that she is in, one of the people that work for her made a mistake, a pretty big mistake. And her boss told her that you need to let this person go, or you at least need to write them up because they already have one write-up. And she has the information about the person that works for her that the boss did not have at first, which is her fiance just recently passed. So she's a single mom, and she's just struggling. She's having a real tough time at life right now. And my family member happens to know this. Her boss does not know this and does not care. At the end of the day, it's a job. You got to do the job or not. So that was the dilemma that my family member found herself in. And she came to us and she was like, y'all, I got to tell y'all the tea. This is what I'm going through at work. And she wasn't really looking for opinions, even though everyone started to give them afterward. But she told us, I'm not writing my employee up. There's no way I can do it. So we're like, well, what happens now if you choose not to do that? Pretty much she goes to her boss and says, write me up. She doesn't have a write-up on her record. She's been there like 30 years. She does not have a write-up. She's never had a write-up. But she feels like if it comes down to you writing me up, in which I know I'll be fine, but obviously now she cannot make another mistake. Like it's a whole different job at this point because you always have that in the back of your mind, whereas you've been clean. But she feels like she's willing to take that write-up for her employee because her employee is going through so much that she doesn't want to do that. And my family was split. Like half my family was like, that's real commendable. And I see what you're doing. The other half was like, I don't think you should do that. That doesn't make a lot of sense. God forbid you make a mistake now. And now you know what I mean? You're going to get yourself fired for something you didn't really do. And what would y'all do?
That's easy. I would jump on the grenade for that. Yeah, I would take the heat on that. Yeah, I mean, if I've got 30 years of credibility, if she gets her first mark on her record, it's not a big deal.
But if you get another one, accident, like something, God forbid something happens, you get another one, you're gone.
She's gone 30 years without one. So I think that's a pretty damn good track record.
I felt bad for saying it, but I'm like, the way life works, you would go 30 years, right? And then the one time you do that, you'll make a mistake the next week. And then now you're in this situation. So it's tough. It's tougher than it really seems.
That doesn't feel like it to me. She's got seniority. This is her employee. Sometimes, when you're the boss, you have to be the first one to run through the door, man.
Yeah, I understand taking hits and showing people grace, etc. But you also have to look at your circumstances. Like if you're the breadwinner and you have mouths to feed and you have a family to take care of, and you do this out of the goodness of your heart, which I think is I do believe is commendable, but you're putting yourself in a position where you could ultimately hurt your family. I don't think that's fair to your family. And I mean, life is not fair. It blows. You want to help people out. I get that. And I mean, I empath and want to be compassionate and empathetic to a person's situation, but I would be like, Mo, in my head, I'd be like, I'm going to take this and then something stupid is going to happen in a couple weeks and now I'm out of a job and how am I going to feed my kid?
It's commendable, but if she's really going through it and, so she jumps on the grenade one time, but if the employee makes another mistake, okay, well now you have a mark on your record and she's going to get written up anyway for a third mistake.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, I think it's amazing that she even has like the bandwidth to be like, I would be happy to jump on that grenade and to protect her from something happening. But I just think sometimes life is going to screw you over. No good deed goes unpunished. And maybe this is a redirection for this employee. Maybe this just isn't where they're supposed to be and where they're actually going to thrive. So while you think you might actually be doing the right thing, maybe this is just a turning point for this employee to find a place that she's going to have a more success in her role.
So all three of you guys would do the same thing?
Well, no. Initially, I was on her side. I was like, I would jump on a grenade. That was my initial thought. But then when my family, the same way Abby and Kristen just did, got to talking about it, because somebody in my family made a valid point, which is similar to what Kristen said. You think that you're putting yourself on the line for her, but what you're really doing is putting your entire family on the line for her. And that's when I kind of looked at it a little different.
Here's where I think it goes also with business. If she's been there 30 years, if it's really strictly business, she could the company will make room for the person that's been there for 30 years if she is making money for the company. So even as the superior, if she gets this black mark, right, and then she gets another one, if she's valuable to that company, chances are pretty good they're going to look around that. And there's an old saying when it comes to managing and leading also, is that a lot of times when you are the manager or you're the leader, you're the bloodiest because you run through the wall first. And that's just a take I would do. I would absolutely do that.
See, it's so because depending on like your life experience and what you've witnessed, my dad was with the company for 25 years and they still canned him.
Is that right? What did he do? Was he smoking weed in the back?
No, he was not.
The Bert Show.